Good morning, students. Welcome to the chemical equilibrium and ionic equilibrium previous advanced questions and smartest solution by VV sir. Let's start with the session and start the session with light. So I have collected the questions on the various topics and various concepts. I have skipped some questions which are very easy, are covered in one of the previous questions. Okay. So let's start one by one. I will give you the sufficient time and then I will explain with the solution. And here comes the first question on your board, which is a rare combination of the thermodynamics as well as equilibrium. So here, according to this question, reactant A in equilibrium with the product P and concentration of A and concentration of B with respect to temperature T1 and T2. Here this graph is drawn with respect to the concentration of A. This graph is drawn with respect to concentration of B. Okay. And this is time on the x-axis, but temperatures are taken on the y-axis. Okay, sorry, two graphs are drawn. This graph is drawn by temperature T1 and simultaneously this is also same T1. This is temperature T2, this is temperature T2. This is the dotted line represents at equilibrium. So if T1 is greater than T2, that means temperature is increased. Assume that delta H naught, delta S naught are independent of temperature and ratio of ln not log. Okay, it is ln K at T1 and ln K at T2 is greater than T2 by T1. Here H represents enthalpy, S represents entropy, G represents free energy change. Then you have to find out the relation between delta H and delta S. Okay. So let's give you time and try to answer it. Otherwise, I will explain. So in this question, we have to use the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Okay. What equation we are going to use? Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, which says that delta G, okay, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. This is the reaction we have to use over here. And two conditions at one temperature T1 and another temperature T2. Okay. So I am converting the statements into the formulas. Here it is given T2 greater than T1. Okay. T2 greater than T1. Here there is a value given independent of temperature. Ratio of ln K. Let us take at K1 and T1. K2 is at T2. Okay. ln K1 by K2 is greater than T2 by T1. Okay. So what does it means? If temperature is increased, okay, then equilibrium is decreasing. Okay, equilibrium constant decreases. That means it is exothermic reaction. Okay, for exothermic reaction, equilibrium constant is inversely proportional to temperature. So with this statement, one thing we understood that delta H less than 0. Is this clear? Once temperature, see here. Okay, K1 and T1 and K2 and T2. Is that clear? So delta H less than 0. And reaction is spontaneous. Okay, reaction is spontaneous. Once reaction is to be spontaneous, delta G must be negative. The delta G must be negative. So substituting delta G value and delta H value, I can get that delta S not less than 0. Okay, so let us check one by one. First here delta H naught less than 0 and delta S naught less than 0. Therefore, A option is correct. As it is a 2018 advanced question, so more than one correct possibility are there. So delta H negative less than 0 is not a problem. This is correct. But delta H greater than 0 is a problem. Okay. So that's why this is not correct. Why B is not correct is clear. Okay, then here delta G less than 0, delta S less than 0. Therefore, C option also correct. Okay, here the problem is with delta S greater than 0. That's why D option is wrong. Therefore, A and C. What are the options correct? A and C options are correct. Try to make explanatory notes so that in future this type of questions may be asked. Here comes the next question picked up from the 2015 advanced. Okay, 2015 advanced. So percentage yield of ammonia. as a function of time. Okay, as a function of time for the reaction, that is Haber process. Already aware that we will be using optimum temperature. It should not be very low, so that rate of reaction should not be slow. It should not be very high, so that rate of reaction should not be, yield should not be decreased. We will maintain a optimum temperature because it is exothermic reaction. So here at P and T1, okay, pressure is kept constant, not a problem. At temperature T1, okay. Now the question is, if I increase the temperature, T2 is greater than T1, then what will be the variation? See here, at the time and temperature T1, this is the percentage yield. Okay. On the same graph, if I draw the graph by taking temperature T2, this line, continuous line, represents the graph with respect to T2, and broken line represents the graph with respect to T1. Okay, you have to find out which graph is appropriate. That means increase in temperature will increase the yield at lower side or higher side, or both, that you have to represent. Okay. Okay, it is a simple concept-based question. Okay, so here it is exothermic reaction. As temperature increases, okay, forward reaction according to Le-Chalais principle, forward reaction less favored. Okay, less favored exothermic reaction. Okay, so here why we are talking about this? Why? Because it is a yield, percentage yield of ammonia. Okay, so as temperature increased, the forward reaction will be less favored, therefore ammonia yield will be reduced. Okay, so here low temperature, high yield. High temperature, low yield. The temperature increased, the percentage yield will be decreased. Okay. So that's why which option is correct? C option is correct. Why C option? I think all of you understood now. Let's go for the next question. Okay, here comes the next question. The initial rate of hydrolysis of methyl acetate, that is ester, okay, with 1 molarity concentration, with weak acid HA, 1 molarity concentration is 1/100th of that of a strong acid. If I am doing the reaction with weak acid, and it is 1/100th of the reaction with the strong acid. Okay, strong acid also taken as the same concentration, 1 molarity, and the Ka you have to find out. Okay, this is a C 2013 advanced examination question. Okay, so you have to find out A, B, C, D. What is the Ka value of weak acid? Okay, see, I am giving you, actually this is a combination of the chemical kinetics and equilibrium. One thing you can find in all examinations of advanced, there will be multiple chapter questions. There will be what questions? Multiple chapter questions. So you have to be perfect in all chapters, and you should be able to combine them. See, here it is a weak acid, HA. Okay, HA is a weak acid, dissociation constant. Our intention is to find out what? HA. Okay, Ka. So Ka is equal to concentration of H plus into A minus divided by HA. So this is our intention. Now here it is written rate of hydrolysis. Rate of hydrolysis of methyl acetate. This is the methyl acetate, actually depends upon the concentration of acid. Okay, that is concentration of H plus with which it is providing. Okay, by a weak acid. If we are using the weak acid, let us take HA and rate of reaction with respect to HA and K. And if I'm using the strong acid, RHX is equal to K into H plus into HX. Okay. So what is given? This is 1/3. This is 1/100th of. That means we can get the relative value of H plus from this. Okay. So concentration of H plus from the acid will be 1/100th of concentration of H plus. This is the H plus provided by weak acid HA is equal to weak acid HA is equal to concentration of H plus provided by the strong acid HX. Okay. So with that you can find out C alpha. Here concentration is already given. So you will get substituting the concentration here, H plus concentration over here. Okay. Then you will get 10 to the power of minus 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by 1. Therefore, how much you will get? 10 to the power of minus 4. Answer will be, because concentration of H plus will be exactly same as the A minus. It is 10 to the power of minus 2. It is also 10 to the power of minus 2. Why I am taken this one? Because it is a strong acid. So strong acid H plus concentration and acid concentration will be same. So H plus provided by the weak acid will be 10 to the power of minus 2. 10 to the power of minus 2 10 to the power of minus 2 will be 10 to the power of minus 4. So Ka is equal to 10 to the power of minus 4. That is A option is correct. I think clear to all of you. Okay, we are in the next very beautifully framed question. Okay, this is very old question, but one of my favorite question, 1994. Okay, advanced question. You are given with the graph. You should be able to study the graph, then only you will be able to solve this. So here for a reaction, what is the reaction given? N moles A reversible, N moles of B. Okay, A reversible with N moles of B, and this is the graph constructed. What are the things you have to find out? N value you have to find out, equilibrium constant you have to find out, initial rate of conversion of A also you have to find out. Okay. Okay, this is, it is better for those people who can study the graph, who can observe the graph. Okay. See here, number of times the concentration of B increases with the rate of consumption of A. Okay. See, if you check here, this is 0.6. Okay, this is 0.4, this is 0.2. So once it is decreasing by 1.1, and the same time it is increasing, how many times? 2 times it is increasing. See, this is the graph with respect to what? B. And this is the graph with respect to what? A. So once A decreased by 0.1, B increased by 0.2. That means here how much it should be there? 2. Why is this 2? Is it understood? So the value of N will be 2. Okay. Now formula for Kc. Kc will be concentration of B at equilibrium to the power of 2, concentration of A to the power of 1. So you have to take the equilibrium concentration. So B concentration is how much? 0.6 at equilibrium. 0.6 whole square divided by equilibrium concentration of A. This is the equilibrium concentration of A. This is the equilibrium concentration of B. So A is how much? 0.3. Okay. So it will be 1.2, I think. Okay. 3.6 divided by 1.2. Okay, so answer will be 1.2. Now next one is the initial rate of conversion of A. So rate of conversion of A means dA by dt, change in concentration by change in time. So this is the graph for A. Okay, so you can check here, change in concentration is how much? Final minus initial, minus 0.5 minus 0.6 divided by change in time will be how much? 1. Okay, so answer will be 0.1. Initial rate of conversion of A will be 0.1. Time in hours. Okay, so time in hours 0.1 molarity per hour. Okay. So next question, 1999. Okay, 1999, 7 marks question. It is a 2 questions are there. These are all that time they used to form the questions very carefully. Okay, so here 3.06 grams of solid ammonium thiohydroxide. Okay, ammonium hydroxide, but here sulfur is there. Understood? Introduced into 2-liter evacuated flask at 27 degrees Celsius where solid 30% decomposes into ammonia and H2S. Kc, Kp, what would happen when more solid introduced into flask? Okay, start now. Okay, see here, complete detailed solution. Here, main thing you should observe is it is in the solid state. Okay, 3.06 grams are given, divided by molar mass, you will convert into the moles, 0.06. Okay, so as it is initial, this product moles will be 0. At equilibrium, 30% of reactant is reacted. So 30% of 0.06. Okay, it will be, I think, 0.018 something, I think. Okay, this will be 3 into 0.06. Now, Kc is equal to moles divided by volume of container is given as a 2 liter. Okay, so this in divided by 2, this divided by 2. On simplification, you will get Kc value. Okay, I'm not going much into deep of the calculation. Just procedure I am explaining you. So PV is equal to nRT. So by using the PV is equal to nRT, we can find out the partial pressure of the ammonia. P is equal to number of moles into N into R, 0.0821, temperature 300, volume of the container 2. So like that, whatever the ammonia moles are there, same number of moles you will find for the H2S also. So pressure of the H2S is also same. Okay. So Kp is equal to pressure of ammonia into pressure of H2S, you will get the Kp value. And you can check here, it is in the solid state. So it won't have any effect on the equilibrium. Okay, because equilibrium term does not involve K value does not involve any concentration terms of the NH4HS. So no effect of the ammonium ammonium thiohydroxide. Okay. Okay, here comes the passage. Read out this passage. Based upon this, we got two questions. Okay, read out this passage. The thermal decomposition of gaseous X2 into the atomic X. Okay, gives free energy delta R G naught. This reaction is positive. The start of the reaction, there is 1 mole of X2 and no X. As the reaction proceeds, number of moles of X formed are given by B. Beta. So beta equilibrium is the number of moles of X formed at equilibrium. Then the reaction carried out at constant total pressure is 2 bar. Consider the gases behave ideally. Okay, this is the paragraph. Now let's see the question based on this. This is the question number 1, 2016 advanced question. See here, very simple. Let us take initially 1 mole. Okay, so 1 mole and 0 mole. So if 1 minus beta by 2, okay, this will be beta. So total number of moles, if I add both of them, total number of moles at equilibrium will be 1 plus beta by 2. Okay, then mole fraction of X2 is equal to number of moles of X2 divided by total number of moles. Same way, mole fraction of, here mole fraction of X in the atomic form, it will be beta. Okay, this 2 will not be there. Beta by 1 plus beta by 2. Now, partial pressure of X2 is equal to total pressure into mole fraction. Partial pressure of X is equal to total pressure into mole fraction. Now, substitute in the Kp. Then you will get 8 beta square by 4 minus beta square. Okay, B will be the answer. Now, next question is incorrect statement among the following for the above. Same paragraph, but question is reasoning question. Okay, very simple. Incorrect answer is C, beta at equilibrium. Okay, beta at equilibrium, if you find, you will not get 0.7. Okay, so 0, because if I substitute X is equal to 0.7, it will be 1.16. Okay, Kp is going to be how much I am getting? Kp is equal to 1.16. C option is incorrect. Rest all